Hi, everybody. It's me, BMR. Last week, I put out a short reading on the Kecksburg UFO incident and asked if you guys would like to see this by leaving comments. And I got some positive feedback. So I'm thinking about doing this weekly. What this is I'm going to randomly pick out something on the internet that interests me. And it's not pre read. I'm going to read it from square one, and I'm going to offer my take at the end. So it's kind of like an impromptu thing, and I'll let you know what I think. Hopefully, you enjoy this. This is titled Former Nuclear Weapons Technician Claims to Have Experienced High Strangeness at Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. And there's a couple little incidents, so kick back and enjoy. Again, this is live until it goes to YouTube, and I'm just reading, scrolling down, and doing my thing. According to testimony given in an interview with Liberation Times, former nuclear weapons technician Adrian Reister witnessed two anomalous lights and a shadow person in separate incidents while stationed at Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. Christopher Sharp, writing for Liberation Times, said that Reister's credentials had been confirmed and that due to the nature of his responsibilities, he's a credible source. Reister, who was stationed at Whiteman Air Force Base from 2003 to 2007, was reportedly a highly skilled technician who was trusted to handle nuclear weapons. Quote, I learned to maintain, dismantle, destroy, transport, and provide security for the nuclear arsenal assigned to our base, he has said of his skill set. Whiteman Air Force Base is home to the 509th Bomb Wing, which includes a fleet of 20 nuclear B-2 Spirit bombers. Reister's first encounter was with an orb he claimed to have seen hovering along a tree line during the transportation of a nuclear weapon within the base. Quote, naturally, during this time, I am being hyper-vigilant, and I notice a light or an orb hovering along the top of the tree line. I thought it was just a star at the time, but as I continued surveilling the area, the light/orb shot above the treetops and hung there for some time. Maybe it was a satellite, I thought, he had said. As the transport team arrived and secured the weapon within the facility, the orb bounced a little in the sky, then shot to the left, which would be north, then shot 90 degrees straight up and disappeared. I think we've all heard that before. 90-degree turns. Reister added that he was familiar with all types of aircraft housed at the base, including the B-2, the F-117, and an A-10, which would take off, land, and maneuver around the area. And the UFO he witnessed was unlike anything he'd ever encountered before. The technician's second UFO encounter came when he reportedly saw another orb above the base while on guard duty. Similarly, again, reading right off the script, to the first incident, this orb hung stationary in the sky prior to disappearing. All the orbs or sky phenomena that I personally saw were the same single glowing orb, reddish or yellowish, turning to white, Reister had said. His third reported encounter with the unusual came during the summer of 2006, while he was working overnight in the base's support section. Reister said he was by himself as one training crew was locked in a separate bay working on a trainer bomb, when he began to hear the sound of bare feet walking, bipedal, something that stood out in contrast to the sound of steel-toe combat boots he was used to wearing and hearing. The sound went away as I looked up and scanned the room. Not seeing anything, I just shrugged my shoulders and went back to work. Within a few more minutes, I heard a barefoot walking again, away from the support area, and this time I got up and looked around. As he says, I saw what I can't really describe as other than a black mass in the shape of a person standing at 6 feet, not really a shadow, but something that was slightly blurry and didn't reflect any light. It quickly turned the corner into the admin area of the shop, and I chased it like a madman, as he says. As I ran down the length of the wall from the support section and into the admin area, I searched high and low, Reister says. There's not really a lot of places to hide in that section, just a few offices and a break room. I've been thorough in my search, but I still ended up empty-handed. According to Reister, nobody could enter or exit the base without being processed through the front security doors. Since all the doors were secured at the time with security seals, which, if broken, would send alert ASAF security forces of a breach. Reister claims no seals were broken that night, and he cannot explain how the shadowy figure could have entered and exited the facility. None of Reister's encounters were reported up the chain of command out of fear that he might get a negative repercussion from his superiors, I'm assuming. Nothing was ever reported, Reister explained, because if you did, you might be considered mentally unstable and have your clearance and personal reliability program status revoked. Quote. He did, however, admit that such events should be taken seriously. Whether it was a person, a wolf, or a rabbit, or what have you, no one besides authorized personnel should be anywhere near a base which stores nuclear weapons, Reister said. The culture must change. If the USAF took a comprehensive approach, it would notice a pattern of similar occurrences at other bases, which senior officials should take note. The state of Missouri is no stranger to high strangeness, with everything from hairy humanoids to UFOs to winged monsters having been reported over the past several decades. In the summer of 1972, residents of the small Mississippi River town of Louisiana began reporting encounters with a beast that stood up to 12 feet tall, had hands made of claws, or had claw-like hands, and had either red, orange, or green eyes. The press dubbed the creature Momo, short for the Missouri Monster. More recently, in January of 2021, a man claimed that he had suffered a detached retina found the sighting of a human-like bat near the border of Mississippi and Arkansas. Again, this is going on. I just pulled this up. You know, Missouri, I know, is a place of high strangeness. According to what I've just read, my take on this is a lot of us have encountered these things, and orbs especially. He's reporting them as a UFO. I guess anything that's unidentified flying around, you could perhaps grab that. Didn't report a metallic object. It was just an orb. UFO, I don't know. What intrigues me, though, is that there was a black shadow person, 6 foot tall. So I'm not really thinking of Bigfoot, but he heard walking, bipedal walking. And as we've all, in this genre or in this field, we know a lot of people report orbs and Bigfoot to be associated. I don't know if this is the case. I certainly believe he saw some orbs. I certainly believe that he saw a shadow person, but what does that mean? Is it relevant? I don't know. Again, I thought it was an interesting read as I just read it. So let me know what your thoughts are. I'll leave it in the comments section. I'm going to do this once a week, and hope you enjoyed it. This is BMR. I'm out. And don't forget, Brunch with Bigfoot, Texas Front Porch, Mondays and Thursdays, noon and 6:30 p.m. And if you haven't checked us out on that, check it out. Have a great day.